The body image is not just about one's weight. It encompasses the way a person perceives themselves inside and out.
Well, a positive perception of one's body could build confidence. Negative body image may result in eating disorders, low self-esteem, and possibly mental issues such as depression and anxiety.
And here to clarify the complexities of body image issues among women, we have in the studio a UK chartered psychologist, Dr. Casey Lee, and sports and fitness photojournalist Cheryl Tay, who's also started the Rock the Naked Truth movement here in Singapore to promote inner beauty. Well, thank you very much for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start with you, Dr. Lee. I mean, most women are unhappy or dissatisfied with how they look. I mean, the figures show that only 20% of the women are happy with how they look, their body image, and 50% overestimate their body size and shape. Now, can you explain to us this critical and distorted sort of view on body image when it comes to women?
Let's get honest. The truth is that, in the history of time, the scrutinizing of women's body is not something new. Even in 10th century China, we have feet binding for Chinese women. Traditionally, for many women, being objectified and needing to conform to a certain look and appearance, it's almost ingrained. So it is a combination of societal pressure, peer, and a lot of times this image is being internalized, that they feel like they should look a certain way.
Yeah, Dr. Lee, when exactly do girls start judging their bodies and evaluating it?
Well, it's hard to pinpoint a certain age, but I have noticed during adolescence, they tend to be a lot more sensitive to how they appear in the world, and women, they are a lot more easily influenced. Yeah, they're a lot more sensitive to how what other people say about their looks and the way they appear.
Now, Cheryl, you have experienced this firsthand. It's very hard to believe just looking at you right now, but you've dealt with body image, you've suffered from self-esteem issues for more than 10 years. Can you explain to us what happened there?
Well, it started that I was bullied in school for my size. I didn't think that I was fat, but then I started being bullied on a school bus, and then after that, it came to a point where I was actually scratching myself till I bled, my forearms and my face, as punishment for eating, because I was trying to starve myself. And I was very influenced by magazines, and you see the pretty girls in school getting more attention, so naturally you're like, okay, I want to be the one that the boys look at. I want to be the one that everyone wants to be friends with. And it got to a point where I was running 20k in the morning, 6k in the evening, 3 hours of kickboxing every day, just to lose the weight. I was very fixated on the number, so I was stepping on the scale every hour just to see like, oh, how much weight have I lost and all that. And then I burnt out and all the weight came back, and I started to take slimming pills. I went to slimming centers. Anything that says lose weight, shape up, I'll do it. Even overloading on diuretics and laxatives, anything, just to be slim.
So when exactly did you say to yourself, I have to be comfortable in my own skin and be really comfortable?
Oh, it was a really long road. I think only last year, or in fact actually early this year, then I started to feel that, actually why we have only one body to live in, and if you don't treat it right, no one's going to treat it right for you. And why do you want to, it's actually abuse, body abuse, all these things I'm doing to myself. And after a while, I started to see that we should be appreciating what our bodies can do for us. And that's how I got into fitness. And seeing like, okay, I can lift weights, I can run, I can do triathlons, I can do marathons, and then you're like, oh, this is how we should be treating ourselves. So it was only really towards the end of like last year.
And you didn't stop there. You actually started your own campaign. It's called Rock the Naked Truth. Wow, how catchy is that, right? But before we talk about it more, maybe we can take a look at this short clip, just to give our viewers a sense of what your movement is all about. If we can have it on the
Imagine drowning in a sea of self-loathing, fueled by comments of the mindless.
What's with the muscle?
You're way too manly.
You used to be prettier.
You're too fat for this.
Now, Cheryl, we see you there. I believe it's your monologue, right? And can you tell us why this campaign is so necessary?
Well, if I had something like that then, I wish I had, and it would be, because when you are at that point, the friends and family, people close to you, you will not listen to them. Like, my parents were very worried when I went down to like 40 kg for my height of 166. and they wanted to send me to a psychologist. but I ended up getting really angry. I mean, I was only 18, and I felt that, I wasn't crazy, I wasn't sick. Why do you want to send me there? So they're the last people, the people closest to you are the last people that you'll listen to. So what I'm trying to do here is create a positive environment, a support group that says, hey, you're not alone. All of us are also suffering from the same thing. It's a social problem that you can't tell. You look at each other. You can't tell that I'm suffering from binge eating, or I have low self-esteem issues, and this translates to attracting toxic relationships or careers. You tend to settle for less in life, and so I wanted this support community that says, okay, we're going to get together, nothing but happy vibes, and I'm here for you. You're not alone.
There's a lot that can be changed. Do you see it changing, especially now with the onset of social media playing such a big part?
It is a double-edged sword. In some sense, the social media portrays the extreme 1% that is extremely beautiful and perfect at some level. So in clinical settings, I always ask my clients, how frequently do you come across six-pack abs in real life, for example? How many of your cousins or peers actually have six-packs? And in reality, it's actually very low. So some of the advice would be really, let's get honest, let's get in touch with, how your body actually is. How do you look? How tall you are. Once we start off with a more realistic footing, then we can go a lot further with it.
But where do we draw that line between being confident in one's own body and crossing into being unhealthy?
So for me, it literally is a question of ability, not so much of how you look. Does your body hampers you, or your image, is it in the way for you to perform everyday activities? So whether you're thin or you're more curvy, it really doesn't matter. Do you get breathless going up flights of steps, or are you very conscious going to the pool because you need to be in minimal clothing?
Oh, yeah, go on.
What are some of the treatments that are available for these girls who are suffering from low self-esteem or body image?
So to begin with, it really is about building respect, like surrounding yourself with people that are supportive, and being able to manage criticism a lot better. As in, like, look, just because someone else said that, oh, you look like you've gained some weight, it's not the be-all and end-all. It's one person's perspective. It may not be entirely true. At the end of the day, it really is who you are as a person, rather than, well, yes, I may be a little bit curvy, but what's the big deal? I am more than my image and my appearance.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for coming in, two of you. We've been speaking to UK chartered psychologist Dr. Casey Lee and sports and fitness photojournalist Cheryl Tay about how women can build a positive body image. Thank you for your time once again.
Thank you. And if you'd like to rock the naked truth, visit the website. The details are on your screen below.